And once you hear that sound, you know it's time for us to go into detailed analysis of our newspaper stories this morning. For Friday, the 18th of January 2019, Lagos, welcome to Freshly Pressed 981 with Kylie Baker
and Valentine Ohu.
And our wonderful analysts in the studio. We have Miss Ireti Bakari Yusuf. She's at CCOG Lagos on all socials. Good morning.
And we were socializing as well last night.
Yes, we were.
Yep.
Good
morning.
It was a fun night.
Lakumi, don't give me that look.
Lakumi is our producer at Lagos. And of course, we're joined by Tunde. Tunde, we haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Happy New Year, but
yeah. Good to be back.
Good morning.
He's still looking handsome as ever.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what happens when you get to sleep a bit.
He's at Big Coast, that's today. And of course, Waji, the big Waj, is in the studio. Good morning.
Thanks for keeping me up, Valentine.
I'm glad you're smiling this morning.
We had a good time last night.
Yes, we did.
I had all my boys with me.
Waji is at the corporate MC Lagos, and there are different ways you can send your messages to us to communicate, to give your observations and comments on the stories.
Yes, you can reach out to us on WhatsApp. Our number is 0809-444-0981. Also, you can reach out to us on Twitter. We are at Smooth91FM, and you can use the hashtag FreshlyPressed981 to get your messages across.
All right, so today we start with a story from Premium Times. Premium Times has this report: opposition raises concern over Buhari's fitness as president again misspeaks at rally. Let's go through the story very quickly.
Oh dear. You see, I can see the whole station has gone quiet. Like, what is she going to say? And somebody asked me downstairs that horrible question that I don't want anybody to send in a text about. So I'm not going to say what it is.
Well,
yeah, no, I'm not telling you.
The statement is that he's too old
the question. No, somebody asked me a question downstairs, and I'm not going to say what the question is, but we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. So yeah, so what happened is there was a rally. Mr. Boru, who is the governorship candidate in Delta, what's his name, Oshomole, handed a flag over to Buhari saying, you know, obviously you hand it over to the governorship candidates to show that this is our man. But it's a Friday story. Buhari then hands it over and says, I'm handing over this flag of honor to our presidential candidate. I know, I didn't make it up, Lagos. That's what happened. To which, of course, you could imagine the shock, horror on everybody's face. Nobody could say a word. So they whispered to him, and he says, "Oh, gubernatorial candidate." They quipped, and then he then said, "Senatorial candidate." Senatorial candidate. Anyway, then moved on. Buhari apparently, this is according to the story, is then heard saying to Boru's wife, "Madam, I wish you luck." Well, you know, that could be tongue-in-cheek, that could be honest. You can't accuse him of getting the wrong person, saying, you know, he's mistaken the wife for the husband. He might truly, sincerely mean, you know what, you don't know what you're going to be doing, so, you know, I wish you luck. And it goes on. And so, of course, Buhari then makes a speech, and he gives his speech very well. You know, he says, I assure you, all those that have enriched themselves where they have been trusted with public funds, we will eventually get them and deal with them. We are doing it, he went on to say. You know, he responded to those who accused him of the lopsided corruption, anti-corruption fight, and he said, our interest is to serve Nigeria and get Nigerians to live together and work for our nation. God has blessed us with people and resources. Let us realize it and thank God and work together to build a country. But of course, that was not going to be enough, because some cheeky person then refers to what happened on NTA. Now, we never got to discuss that NTA interview on this show. You want to say something?
Because I mean, I'm curious, just to.
What do I think? Yeah, let's be. You want to do the?
So here's my question. I mean, do you think the opposition is being mischievous in picking out just that gap, so to speak, call it yesterday?
No.
Because I mean, we see that there are a lot of presidential primaries that are going on around the country. He could be tired.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and this
let me quickly respond to that. Yes, they're being mischievous, but that's what this game is. So you being the incumbent party, you have to be on it, because any kind of quote-unquote gaffe that you make will be picked up and literally taken to the moon.
Exactly,
So
and
that's it.
and that's what the PDP. I mean, that's what the opposition are there for. They're there to actually be mischievous. But we must be honest, and like I said downstairs, I have to be true to my journalistic integrity, which is that yes, there has been one too many gaps. I think he's tired. He's an old man, but that doesn't mean that I was asked just downstairs, are you still going to vote for him? I mean, I'm really struggling not to talk about this, but I must be honest because we're here to be honest to our listeners and people and get people talking. Yes, I will still be voting for him, and my vote is strategic. We don't have time to talk about that strategy here, but my vote is strategic. So yes, I will still be voting for him, and I don't think he's going to die halfway. I think he's got an excellent number two who I know is more than competent, to do the job. So yes, I'm confident enough and I can be honest enough with my soul that I'm giving my vote to the right team, not necessarily the man.
Thank you, Mr. Riti. Lagos, we see your messages. Please keep them coming to WhatsApp 0809444091. Our next story is from Guardian newspaper. Senate raises alarm over security lapses in National Assembly. And this story is coming to you today. Now, from this story, who cried out about this or raised alarm over this is the Lagos Central Senatorial District, Olurami Tinubu, and she said her office was boggled and some items carted away. What are your thoughts on this?
Our very own Tinubu.
Over Photoshop.
Well, my initial when I initially came across this headline, my thoughts were more maybe it's the happenings in the recent happenings in Kenya. My thoughts were more terrorist. The complex being susceptible to terrorist attacks, and maybe an assessment having done, and highlighted a bunch of lapses. Well, it's not quite that deep, but still significantly serious enough. Mrs. Tinubu is complaining about that her office was boggled while she was away, over the Christmas break, seeing to constituency projects and town hall meetings. So items that she lost.
I wonder why you dropped your voice when you said that part.
Items that she lost. I'm trying to treat this seriously. HP laptop, CCTV camera box, and a Smile internet device. Smile must be really proud of themselves now. And a few copies of laws of the Federation that are, I guess, readily or freely available. This looks like something that was lost out of that can be lost out of any, regular dorm room.
Well, it's not regular because it's a government
but
office.
It's the National Assembly,
and they take record of they take inventory of the items.
Valentine Ohu.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So I'm saying it's serious because it happened at the National Assembly. She wants the items replaced. The things that worry me the most, however, are so clearly there's a lapse in security, general security, and there's a principle that you deal with to prevent big crimes and big incidents. Deal with the small ones, right? And so it's a culture. Now there's another story of someone parking a car at the complex and having that car boggled and the money stolen from within it, and the authorities thinking, oh, we've got CCTV footage, only to find out that CCTV footage doesn't work. That's a real concern, right? That's a huge concern. That means if the complex, for whatever reason, was to come under attack, we wouldn't be able to tell if attacks were even planned. If people were to display funny and suspicious activity, we wouldn't pick it up, right? Meanwhile, those CCTV cameras are supposedly there potentially as just shells. Again, an indication of how lax we are and our attitude towards things. So, on the one hand, I can joke about it, but it's a very serious, thing.
It is.
However, for her to go to the extent saying she doesn't feel safe in her office, I mean, that means the rest of us, none of us are safe in the country. None of us feel safe. Do you understand? Saying she doesn't feel safe in her office because items were boggled when she was away is, I think, maybe a bit much. It's, welcome to the lives of the rest of us. But this is serious. It will be a huge embarrassment if the National Assembly complex was this susceptible. I think it would be one of the most secure places in the country.
Because we've had occasion to ask these kind of questions, especially last year, if you recall, April. There were questions and concerns on the security situation in the National Assembly. Funny-looking individuals that are not identified having access to, the entrance.
We rely on prayer these days.
Not ID
Interesting.
cards.
Let's move on to this next story now. It's an update. One shot police vehicle burns in violence as violence mars a PDP rally, and this happened. You in the news now. It's on the news, and we're talking about this, and it's something that should raise a concern. And it happened as in Jigawa State at the PDP convention. They said they started with a policeman when a police officer was trying to maintain peace and shot one of the participants. Waja, please take us through the story.
All right. So this basically happened, like you said, Valentine Ohu rally in Jigawa State, where it's a local government area, and there were a lot of supporters for PDP. And what now happened is that in these particular rallies, if you guys have been to one, there's a lot of excitement. Supporters are there, and we all know the reasons why they're there, because they're just trying to see what free lunch or free handouts they can get from the people who are coming to campaign for their votes. Now, my issue with these things is that, this is where these are where the challenges are. It is a very tense situation, those rallies, and oftentimes the security personnel are not adequately equipped to handle the tension at those particular rallies. And because these individuals who are there at the rallies get very excited and they get very, very, very in your face and everything else, oftentimes the security personnel who do not have the adequate training can just sometimes think that the only way to quell somebody who's being a bit overzealous is to shoot that individual. That's just sometimes how the thinking is of some security individuals, not all. And then once that happens, it's just going to be complete chaos. That's pretty much the end of the rally. The people in that community are going to feel aggrieved. They're going to feel that this is just something that each for people. There's no indication that this individual was hurt by any chance, and hopefully this person is okay. I'm not saying hurt. Obviously, he was shot. He was hurt. For what I mean by he didn't lose his life. But it just speaks to the larger concerns that you have with these political rallies. It's not a life or death matter. None of it is that serious.
Thank you.
So I think the security personnel need to be trained in crowd management more so than anything else, so that they can ensure that people do not lose their lives. So in as much as people might be excited, and it's fine, you can let people be excited for whatever reason, or trying to shout at the candidate to pass them something down, or whatever the case may be. But the police need adequate training in crowd management, so that way people can just stop getting shot. I don't know why you bring out your gun. What are the rules of engagement? If the person have a gun, so why are you bringing out your gun to shoot that individual? So that's where a lot of the training now needs to come, especially in this campaign season, so we can see a stark reduction in the amount of violence and hopefully the amount of deaths.
Thank you very much, Waji. Let's move on to this next story from Premium Times. It's an exclusive. IGP Mohammed Adamu, the 15 DIGs, the Deputy Inspector Generals of Police, and the Assistant Inspector Generals of Police, who may be forced to retire. There's an exclusive report that was given by the Premium Times, and they checked out some 15 high-ranking officers that may proceed on early retirement following the emergence of the new Inspector General of Police. Take us through the story, Tunde.
Yeah, so there's a new IG. He's been promoted to our ranks. Or there's a number of people ahead of him, 15, who are ahead of him, or are his heads.
Yes.
You can see in the end. He's now expected to manage these people. These people are his superiors. I can see the thinking behind, them therefore expediting their departure or their retirement. With their full benefits and obviously some incentive to leave ahead of time. There are also 5 who are his contemporaries or his classmates. In that regard, I don't think there's so much of there isn't that same need. I mean, if your contemporaries and your peers and one of you is elevated, I don't think it should be a case where you then have to be forced out of the system. They mention the story. Points out quite rightly that it's a convention. It's not in the service document. It's not law or anything, but it's just general convention, because again you have to manage these individuals and it might be a bit tricky to do so. So the truth is, it points to one thing, that at that level, the appointment of the top man of the IGP, the top man in the police force, is more of a political appointment than anything else. When I say political, I don't mean he has political affiliations, but people in charge will want to pick someone that they're comfortable with. We want to pick their man, in the view that he would, carry out the things or the thinking and embody the drive that it is that they have. So at that stage, that's the type of thing it is, unfortunately, which for me is more an indication of, we talk about, not having deep and strong structures. if the police force itself was a better institution, maybe they'll be less worried about or having to go several levels down the rank to find someone who is suitable to for my purposes. Because every organization loses something when you have to clear out the upper echelon. There's no other way to look at it.
But it's probably not exactly that, because you find out recently when he was appointed and the announcement was made, even the opposition acclaimed his personality and his office as his person really has been one of the most qualified, and it's understandable why he would be touted as such.
Valentine, that almost was my problem. Why do you have to go several levels down to find someone who's competent? So what were all the people who were ahead of him doing before? And why were they in positions?
Good question there. Thank you very much, Tunde. Let's go to your messages. MI from Akoka sent this one on WhatsApp. Says, truth be told, the president is not the orator. So not everyone is witty with words or has the gift of the gab. However, recent groups like yesterday's is like a fodder for the opposition to raise all sorts of conspiracy regarding...
lapse in memory.
Yeah.
Emma, your analysis is always on point. But on this one, I'm going to call you. Come on.
Okay, let me continue. All sorts of conspiracy regarding his health. Hey, he's over 70. Mental fatigue is not unexpected, he ends with. Femi sent this one from VI. He says, opposition being mischievous. He's asked about APC being mischievous with every single word Atiku says. The one-sided debate alone shows Buhari should be examined if he's mentally fit for the office. He really should be allowed to retire and rest. That's what Femi says. Ayo sent in this one. It says, Madam Iriti, you'd make an excellent grandmaster chess player. That vote has been strategically calculated like 6 moves ahead.
You get it. What's his name again? Ayo. Thank you. You get it.
All right, let's go to the next.
Because it's important for us to vote strategically now.
Mr. A.T., the next story does come to you.
Oh, it does?
Exciting times.
Okay, so it says, INEC clears Buhari, Atiku, 70 others for presidency. The story comes from the New Telegraph, and they're saying that, well, they've released a list for presidential candidates and also National Assembly candidates as well. So please walk us through this.
Yes, well, yes, I will be literally walking you through it because there are so many candidates. So we have APC, PDP, and I'm just going to spend time reading out the parties. I wish I could read out the names because, no, it would be nice because I don't think people hear of the other names enough.
Yeah,
so I'm just going to run through the other two.
To where the story
yeah,
is,
to run them through the other two. So we have OB, whose party is ACPN. We have Kingsley Mogalu, YPP. We have Ashim PT, don't know what they stand for. People's Trust, that's it. Faladurute ANN. Showore is presidential candidate for AAC, and it goes on. And there's ADC, NCP, PPN, COA, ABP, UP, NUP, ACD. We come down. There's DPP. There's APGA. However, there is. I mean, it's just all the alphabet.
Yes.
However, there is a candidate who has not been cleared simply because of his age, and this is interesting. There's a candidate for AAP whose name is Chika Ukaegbu. Yeah, that's the one. Ukaegbu. That's right. I know my cousins are in that direction. Still hangs on the balance simply because they said he's too young. I mean, he's 35 years old, so he's too young. And INEC had actually told all of them that submitted younger candidates saying, look, go and sort yourself out. We can't accept this. So apparently that case is still in court. So that's really it there. It's
Also
a shame.
I hope for the SDP.
Pardon?
Show them come.
Just threw me off.
Candidates for the SDP.
Not SDC.
Yes.
Today, really.
It's a few different
Yes.
ways, so anyway.
So there's
That's
that.
very good, and also
Yes, I mean, there's so many, but honestly, if I was one of the national newspapers, in fact, let me skip through this story because then INEC says they need 10,603 ad hoc staff, etc., etc. I think you're going to need much more than that, but there you go. But let me just quickly, if only one of the prints, one of the dailies would do us a really big favor, and rather than keep giving us the same old front pages, violence at Delta, this one in this one, just spend the whole page, one front page, listing all the political parties, all the candidates. That would, imagine, that would just be exceptional, wouldn't it?
And possibly adding the profiles of each candidate.
Well, they won't fit that on the front
They can do
page.
some infographics. Where you
Yes,
have pictures
exactly.
and all
Just
those
put the
things.
names and everything. It would be so, we would appreciate it. So if you're all listening out there, do it.
take it cute.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that one, Mr. A.T. Let's move on to our next story. This one here says, federal government to deport aliens, short borders during general elections. And it's from the Vanguard newspaper. This one comes to you, actually.
Headlines.
Okay.
Aliens.
I think we.
Not UFOs.
No, I think Donald Trump has pretty much affected the whole world.
Exactly. You use language. It's disgraceful.
That's the problem, because I don't know what that means by alien. That's just absolutely. Anyway, besides that point, now this is what I find interesting about this particular initiative that they're trying to do. I understand the spirit of it, but the spirit of it comes back to me and tells me that it actually doesn't make any sense. What do I mean by that? You're saying that individuals who come to Nigeria should not observe elections. What does that mean, observe elections? Okay, so if an individual comes here,
Partake or look
no,
on.
no, the specific use of the words that they use in the article is observe the election. So my concern is this. Okay, so fine. So if a blogger who happens to be here on a tourist trip
Yes.
now says,
For the purpose of election.
no,
Maybe.
no,
Just
here,
maybe
just visiting a friend. Maybe there's a wedding. I don't know, went to school with somebody who's just here, and was
Okay.
like, "Oh, that Nigerians go out to vote. I wish everybody the best." They will now say, "Oh, you're here observing our elections." I mean, how? You see, when
Yes.
you do these things, there's no particular context or
Yes.
structure to it. When you say that tourists who come here should not observe elections, I don't even know what that means. Every
Empty statements.
last Nigerian has a PhD in Brexit. Every single last Nigerian has a PhD in U.S. government shutdown. Do you see any of those governments telling us that you can't go there and observe? It doesn't make any sense. It's a global community that you live in. If these things matter, people are going to make comments. It's the social media age. So I don't understand these archaic constructs that people come up with regards to what you can and cannot do when you're visiting a country. It actually doesn't make any sense, because it just prevents people from freedom of movement and visiting your country and contributing to tourism. So it's actually counterproductive. You're shooting yourself in the foot. If you want people to come, don't make these statements. Just leave it. Obviously, you know the laws. They're not going to go to the polling booths and now say they want to get PVC and participate. That doesn't make any sense.
But it seems from the story that they're indicating that, the monitors are meant to be registered. The election monitors, observers, are meant to be registered so they can track the amount of observers that they have.
That's
Maybe
a different.
there's some
That's
measure they
a, that's a
will put in place.
completely different story.
different.
That's a completely different thing, Valentine. Those people are in place. You know who those are. But what you're saying is that a foreigner who comes. So how's it going to happen?
Maybe somebody who's not registered
Okay.
won't be allowed into
No
the
problem.
voting.
No. But
premises.
how? Think about what I'm saying. Like you come here in Nigeria. You're not authorized to be a official observer. So what are you going to do? Are you just going to be standing on the street with? Do you understand? I don't get it. It doesn't.
Thank you very much for that one, Matthew. Let's move on real quick to our next story. This one here comes from the Punch newspaper, and it comes to you today. It says, on 30,000 minimum wage, governors demand review of revenue sharing formula. And, like I mentioned, some Punch newspaper. So what are your thoughts about this?
Okay, my thoughts are that we'll continue to use the play politics, at least until February. This proposal it's been out there for a while, and it's been banter between, and it's been struggle between the federal level of government and the states. It's a question actually that speaks to, and every time this comes up, this question that speaks to restructuring, because the states say, look, we can't afford this. Besides, the federal government takes the lion's share of the revenue that comes into the country at about 52%. The states get 20, and then the local governments get the balance. No, the states get 26, and then the local governments get 20. I can see why everyone is interested in local government. So that's the share, and the states say we simply can't afford it. And it makes it, when you can't afford it, we've all been in that situation. When you can't afford something, you really can't afford it. So I don't, on this matter, we're in between a rock and a hard place. There are, sound arguments for the increase in the minimum wage, but there are also other implications. So it then always therefore comes to a matter of where people play politics with it. They talk about it's an issue of restructuring. We've had that conversation again for a long period of time, and nothing. It seemed last year it generated a lot of momentum, but that's gone down as well. But the key thing I'd like to draw out of this again, considering all the difficult situation I say we're in, it goes Buhari, after much pressure from the organized labor ahead of the February polls, lately made a commitment to a new minimum wage commitment. The president last week inaugurated a technical committee, again another thing that we do. Inaugurated a technical committee to advise the government on how to implement the minimum wage, something that we all know is it's going to be difficult. But this is again, it's election season. It's time to politic over these issues. We'll see what happens.
All right. We have a message here from IK on WhatsApp. Says, isn't it ironic that standing beside Buhari as he pledged to fight corruption in Warri was the uncommon Akpabio? Benga sent in this message. Benga says, dwelling on the president's presidential candidate gaffe by opposition is really petty. The president is just being human, and no human is above mistakes. I still remember how much he talked about grammar blunders and things. Okay, so Ojo's here sends in a message. Ojo says, I believe INEC has been very fair on the list released. They were not on any side of any political party. On the minimum wage issue, the governors are playing a merry-go-round. They will delay till after the elections and Labour will have to start again, unfortunately. Chichi says it's funny how a 35-year-old is too young to be president, but I can understand that. What I do not understand is how the retirement age in Nigeria is 60 years, but it's okay for us to have leaders that are over 70.
80. We have an ambassador who's 81.
All right, so Topiman here says, I think the opposition should focus on how to win the election rather than being mischievous. The electorate should determine their preferred presidential candidate during the polls. Get your PVC. Let's move on to the next story.
Let's move on to our next story. This one here comes from the Daily Times, and it comes to Mr. It says, police nab man for allegedly stealing female pants for rituals in Anambra State.
Yes. You couldn't make it up. This has been this craze, and you know, we jump on this craze. Somebody can steal your private parts, somebody can steal your, you know,
underwear,
watermelons. Now they're stealing
your bits and your bobs.
Your bits, thank you, your bits and your bobs, before Valentine and Lakumi had start having, you know, palpitations.
Okay.
Yeah, your bits and your bobs. Now they're claiming that female underwear. I would rather said underwear than pants. So
the headline, I know.
yeah, in America you say pants. I think you're talking
trousers.
about trousers.
Trousers.
In England we say knickers. In Nigeria we say pint. So if he's gonna say pants, he should just write pint or underwear. Anyway, female underwear. Now, yeah. So this bloke here, Chinyonye Okori, has been accused of. Chinonye, that's the one. Will you stop giggling? Has been accused of stealing a pair of knickers from the line. Says a suspect stole a female pant, washed and spread.
You know, it's
Washed and spread on a
This
rope.
is your fault. I hope you know
On a rope at number 21 Umuana Street.
there's an
wherever.
address.
Yes, there's an address.
Oh, okay.
With, in case you want more. With intent to sell it to be unidentified people for 80,000 naira now. Look,
Wow.
all I can say is, if my used knickers are worth 80,000 naira, can you please make your way to my house?
Sign me up.
Like, make your way to my house. Ping Valentine, ping Lakumi, ping any of my people here. They will give you my address. 80,000 naira for used knickers.
But should this be found funny because it's being used for ritual purposes?
Oh, stop it. What ritual purposes? What's she supposed to do? Give birth early? What's a load of nonsense? Can you stop believing this nonsense? Or is it that the bits and bobs and the top part is going to disappear?
Yeah.
Or what exactly is he supposed to do?
But it's the craze that's been going on
What?
for a while.
Clint, that's the word.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Everywhere.
Crazy.
That is nonsense. That's why it's so nonsensical. Can we stop believing this nonsense? Because if it's true, let's just imagine all this ritualism is true and they actually work. If they work, do you think any of us would be walking around? Because half of us would actually be walking ATMs. So stop this. You want to steal my knickers for 80,000? Just put the money in there. Make your way to my house. That's
do
what
a
I can
swap.
say.
Oh,
Exactly.
All right, we'll have more messages here. Somebody here says, as Aiko Suji says, on what grounds would any sane person vote for Buhari? It's a question. Okay. All right, Daniel here
Yeah, I've
says
been known to be insane.
the opposition isn't the only one speaking on Buhari's blunders. Nigerians are generally, not everything is about opposition. And thank you very much. Let's take the last story. Oh, we're done for that? Okay. Z here says, okay, thank you very much, Z, for that message. I'll take that into consideration. Shegun says, those who vote for Buhari know that he's not a good orator. We know of very good orators who cannot be trusted with our national assets or nation's assets. Imagine how PDP will shout bias if INEC bars them for bars any of their gubernatorial candidates. Tosin says, this irritation is too funny, right on the floor, laughing real hard, used on these 80,000 naira. Thank you. IK from Apapa says, good morning, guys. Still reacting to the irritation statement. Well, Lagos, thank you very much for listening, and thanks for your messages and comments. Catch our analyst up on Twitter at BigCoast, that's Premier Kofi, and Mr. Bakari Yusuf can be found at CCOG Lagos, and of course, Waji is at the corporate MC. Today is Friday, so we'll be talking about sports next inside of the locker room at 8:15.